Well, I'm probably not gonna have a chance to do this in real life, and so I'm gonna use my opportunity as it is that night and it is that day to do this in front of you guys on camera. And live from New York, it's Saturday night! I already said the title. We can just jump into this now. So Saturday Night takes place during the first SNL taping that happened on October 11th, 1975. 90 minutes before the show, and everything is a mess. The production is not fully done yet, the rehearsals aren't going great, the actors aren't fully there, a lot of them are even on stuff, and all the while producer Lorne Michaels, played by Gabriel LaBelle, is trying his best to keep it together. And as it gets closer and closer to airtime, it seems like the show might not happen. Now obviously, you know the show happened. This is not a spoiler. It's been going on for 50 seasons now, and tonight is an episode, in fact, with Ariana Grande and Stevie Nicks. And so, as you're watching this, you're probably gonna see a new SNL episode probably minutes after. And so, naturally, this is something that is known. But getting to see the madness of how SNL came to be, and just to see this first night go as crazily as anything possibly good, was quite a riveting experience, and it made for a very fun movie. I don't actually see this as one of those things where it's like, yeah, the outcome makes it less interesting. If anything, it makes it more interesting, because half the time you're just seeing all of this fall apart and go, how in the hell are they still going to be able to do this? And a lot of that has to do with how frantically the movie captures that energy. It feels like a very stressful 90 minutes, and most of it is happening in real time as the movie's going on. And so you're pretty much living out the minutes as they're proceeding. And it's pretty great what Jason Reitman, who directed the movie, manages to do with this. And having also written the movie with his co-writer Gil Kinnan, it's very effective stuff, and all the actors get quite a lot to do. Would I have liked a little bit more with some of the performers on the side? Absolutely. But we do get some standout performances nonetheless, particularly from Gabriel LaBelle, who I really liked in The Fabelmans. He played basically young Steven Spielberg, and he did a really, really good job with that. And I think over here, he gets to showcase those acting skills once again. He's really good in the movie. Other cast members surrounding him, like Rachel Sennett, Corey Michael Smith, Willem Dafoe, Dylan O'Brien, Kaya Gerber, J.K. Simmons, everybody's really, really good in the movie. This is a massive ensemble. And most of the characters get a standout moment, a particular scene or a moment just to shine and really bring something to the table, which is something that I really appreciated. They tried their best to do as much as they could with that. Are all the actor impressions and things that they're trying to do as effective as they could be? I would say there are most parts where it is, and then in some parts they do kind of miss the mark, which I would say is probably one of my issues with the movie, that I do think at points the representations of some of those actors could have been maybe a little better. Sometimes it feels a little disjointed. But regardless of the fact, I would say that by the end of the movie, you get a fairly solid time, and one that is definitely a crowd pleaser. I can't imagine watching this movie for most people and not having a very good time with it. And even though you're seeing everything just go crazier and crazier and crazier with each passing minute, the movie very much keeps you on its toes. And, you know, as the show is finally about to air live, you're still right there with them in that moment of, are they going to pull it off or not? And it doesn't take away from that fact. Like, again, 50 seasons have happened. The production design is also incredibly well done. They didn't actually shoot it at 30 Rock. They filmed this in Georgia, but I know there's a few bits that they filmed at Rockefeller Center. Eventually, there's a point in the movie, but they captured it really, really well. In fact, the recreation of that entire floor space is pretty solid, and eventually when things do start to come together or not come together, depending on how you look at it, when the production is about to get going live on air, seeing some of those, you know, different details come together and the sets be made is actually pretty effective and puts you right in that space of the crunch time that all of the people involved in were going through in that moment. It's really, really well detailed stuff, and it also has some really great music, especially with the score from John Baptiste, who is really, really great in this movie. And it's also great because you get to see some of the performers who at the time were considered unknown comedians, you know, getting their start with stuff like this, particularly when it comes to John Belushi. Like, you're obviously, if you know your SNL history, you know that John Belushi is often considered the greatest SNL cast member, one of the greats even. And it's an unfortunate thing that he left us as soon as he did, but he still manages to be, you know, that standout person. Like, people get a laugh out of him. And you're seeing other people over there, again, relative unknowns, you know, like Dan Aykroyd. Who knows that guy, you know? Chevy Chase, who knows him? Gilda Radner, who's she? You know, and seeing all of this play out and going, you know, some people are like, this is not going to go anywhere. You guys aren't going to do much. And you're just sitting there going, well, okay. I also like those little nuggets which you get between Rosie Shuster and Lorne Michaels. Those moments where, you know, they were both married, but it seems like things aren't going super well between them. And those little moments where you see their relationship is quite effective. There's also one standout scene with Cooper Hoffman, which I thought was really, really great. You've seen snippets maybe of it in the trailers. Overall, I just really enjoyed Saturday Night. I think it was a really fun time, and I think you guys will enjoy it too. And, you know, sorry if I blew out your speakers with the intro. I'm gonna give Saturday Night an 8 out of 10. I don't know how much you're gonna get out of it in terms of like an in-depth exploration of certain things, but it's very funny and entertaining, and that's all it really needs to be. Guys, thank you very much for watching. Look forward to more videos very, very soon. As always, if you like this, please do subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the movies.